Did you know that each of the Star Wars RPG core rulebooks have a full pre-made adventure in the back of the book? Today I want to help you GMs prep for running Edge of the Empire's Trouble Brewing, and I've run this adventure myself 2 or 3 times now, and I want to help you be as prepared as possible for whenever you choose to run this adventure. Welcome to the Tabletop Empire. My name is Nate, and I'm going to be your guide through Trouble Brewing. Now, before you end up running the adventure, I would still recommend reading through it yourself. This video is going to be a summary of the entire adventure with some extra details though, so you can know exactly what to expect before you dive into the book. And if you want to run this adventure in style, you can check out our merch store at thetabletopempire.store for some limited time merch items such as the shirt I'm wearing now. These items are only going to be around for another week and a half or so grab yours before they are gone forever. Now, before we really begin, all my PCs out there are major spoilers in this video, so fair warning beforehand. Trouble Brewing is set in the Outer Rim on a planet called Formos. This planet is a backwater world that lies between 2 busy hyperspace routes. Because of this, it makes an excellent world for smuggling. Formos is directly linked to the spice mining world of Kessel via the Kessel Run. The players will learn about, then track down, a smuggling ringleader and vicious pirate Bandon Doba. This Aqualish has made enemies with not only the Empire, but also the Hutts, as Formos is very close to Hutt space and they don't appreciate the competition. Both the Empire and the Hutts have placed a bounty on his head, which I will touch on in more detail later in the video. The first part of this adventure will be setting up your PCs in the Formos spaceport, describing the scenes, letting your players explore, as well as throwing a few optional encounters their way. There's also minimal Imperial presence here, with only 16 stormtroopers and 2 stormtrooper sergeants, both of which you can find on page 404 of your book. The commoners and the couple of stormtroopers stationed here pretty much leave each other alone unless something bad happens or breaks out. The GM can choose to use them or have them be more of just kind of there in the background, not caring, whichever you want to fit your game. Personally though, I did not end up using them in any of my games. For the optional encounters, the book actually has 5 that you can choose to use. And really quickly, here are quick descriptions. Go read more if you're interested in running them. The first is a smuggling operation that the players can notice and maybe even interfere with. The second encounter is a Tritonite missionary who pretty much flags the PCs down after he notices, oh hey, new faces. And he proceeds to gibber away on his beliefs and leaves the players with a tracked Flexiplast, which pretty much is like a material that's used on signs during mass protests. The third encounter is an aging mother and scam artist selling the cheapest water on Formos, while her son attempts to steal anything he can off of customers. The fourth is a Rhodian stalking the PCs because he's described as painfully shy and has been ordered by a small local gang he's a part of to meet the new people coming into town. However, the new people he's supposed to meet are not actually your PCs, and he hasn't quite figured that out just yet. The last encounter option should only be used sparingly because it can be a red herring for the PCs. Pretty much, this young human named Lee is extorting credits off the strangers using the threat of his boss, Bandon Doba, but the thing is, he doesn't actually work for Bandon Doba. Your players can capture him though, and he will lead them to Bandon's henchman's local safe house. For this reason, the adventure recommends that you wait until after the cantina, which we'll get on in just a second, to use him, because that is after where the PCs will learn about Dara Blunt. More on that again in just a moment. After your players are finished going through the spaceport, they should come across the Rejinx Cantina. As they discover the cantina and journey there, they should overhear a dying protocol droid that will give them a side quest to find his kidnapped astromech friend who has important data on the Kessel Run, which is why the droid was assaulted and captured. The droid is beyond saving, but he can answer a few questions before the light leaves his luminescent eyes. This could be where the PCs first learn about Bandon Doba, as the protocol droid suspects that it's Bandon's gang that attacked them. After this, the players will go into the cantina, and inside is where they discover the bounty on Bandon Doba's head. The Empire will pay 10,000 credits, dead or alive. The players ask around about Bandon, but everybody in there will pretty much give an answer of, "Are you crazy? Get lost before you cause me trouble." Eventually, a Deveronian will overhear them and is willing to trade some info for some credits, including info that a Hutt is willing to pay 5,000 credits for him alive, which could be preferable if the party wishes to avoid Imperial entanglement. The Deveronian may also tell them about a Rhodian bounty hunter that attempted to find Bandon a few weeks ago. And as the PC's conversation with him ends, an elegant Rhodian girl will enter the cantina and head directly to the bar. And moments afterwards, 3 smugglers come in as well, 2 humans and 1 Weequay. The atmosphere of the cantina will shift immediately as these smugglers are rumored to be part of Bandon Doba's crew. One of the humans is Dara Blunt, a rival class enemy, and the 2 accompanying him are Spur and Gut, gut being the weak way. As the three approach the bar, Spur has immediately taken an interest to the Rhodian girl and starts flirting with her, but the players will notice immediately that she is uncomfortable. If the PCs don't do anything, then Spur gets louder as he continues to harass her. In this moment, there are two paths. The PCs can choose to step in, or the Rhodian will find pretext to talk to the PCs. Either way, Spur will be frustrated and force the players to deal with him in whatever way they see fit, peacefully or violently. The book has a few options listed for what happens, however it's handled, and afterwards the Rhodian will introduce herself and say that she is looking for an astromech. The PCs should piece together that this is the same astromech that's friends with the dead protocol droid, and the Rhodian girl offers 2,000 credits for it to be found and brought to her. She'll explain that she works for the Rhodian government, gathering data for their archives, and she wants the data the astromech carries. The PCs may also find out that the Rhodian bounty hunter from before is her brother. As the conversation with her ends, the players will make a perception check and possibly notice a Toydarian spy. If they don't notice, then Dara Blunt's gang will be alerted. If the Toydarian is noticed, then the players can sneak to follow him and try to keep him in sight, and they will be led to Dara Blunt's hideout. Combat can either happen at the safe house if the players found it, or in the streets if not. If it's at the safe house, then Dara's gang hasn't had the chance to fully equip yet, so there is a significant advantage over fighting in the streets. Dara's gang will then blast the like button, and while he's at it, you should too. This video took a lot of effort to make, and it would really mean a lot and help this video reach more people. And while you're down there, if you want more Star Wars RPG content, consider subscribing. So Dara's gang will consist of himself, Spur and Gut, if they're still alive, a smuggler, and 3 street toughs, both of which are found on page 396 of the Adversaries chapter in Edge of the Empire. After the confrontation, the PCs will explore the gang's safe house where they can search a few areas, but the important thing here is an astromech with a restraining bolt hooked up to a computer. The players can remove the restraining bolt using a tool in Dara's backpack, and the droid will wake up and eventually tell the players of a set of coordinates that have been uploaded to him, which lead to an asteroid field that is only a quick hyperspace jump away. The players should be able to infer that this is Bandon's hideout and current whereabouts. Also, if they choose to slice into the computer that the astromech was hooked up to, they will see the coordinates that were uploaded to the astromech, as well as a few extra programs. If they roll 3 advantage during this computer check, they gain access to a special file called Pass that seems to be a pattern for a shortwave radio signal, and later this can be used to bypass security and potential conflict. At this point, the players can choose to either find Bandon Doba or not. If they do not decide to, the astromech will end going on his own way to get revenge for his dead protocol friend. The credits are usually enough of a motivator to keep the PCs going on the adventure. Upon continuing, they go to the coordinates and arrive at a larger asteroid. The players can use the ship scanners to try to gather more info, and with this scan they can see some areas of the asteroid that have life forms, maybe some ships, as well as a sentry droid. The players can try to get past the sentry droid by either sneaking in, jamming its signal, destroying the droid, or using the pass file if they were able to obtain it. Each have differing results that can mean either combat or skipping combat entirely and have later ripple effects. Inside the asteroid there are 3 areas. One is an abandoned ship that belongs to the Rhodian brother bounty hunter, the next is a Minot cave, and the third is Bandon Doba's ship and Bandon Doba. The book has a full description of the inside of his ship and the crew that's there too. And there are 3 possible positions that the crew will be in. Full alert if you combated your way in or are detected without the password, unprepared if they do not know of your arrival, or expecting Daro if you use the pass file. The crew is Bandon Doba, 3 humans using the pirate crew profile on page 393 of the book, and then the Rhodian bounty hunter. While fighting, the PCs can try to get the bounty hunter to turn on Bandon, but otherwise the Rhodian will be helping out the pirate. The reason he's helping out the pirate is that his ship isn't working and he's pretty much at Bandon Doba's mercy. After this fight, the players can choose to take Bandon to the Empire or to the Hut. If you take him to Kessel to turn him over to the Empire alive, they will pay 2,300 credits to the PCs and give an IOU of 7,700 credits that will take a full Coruscant year to obtain off of Kessel if the players try. The IOU is also a tracker, and if Bandon is dead, the players will have to make a daunting, so 4 purple, charm check to convince them that this body is in fact Bandon Doba. The Empire ending kinda sucks, but hey, that's the Empire for you. If the players were wise enough to go to the Hut, they will get a 5,000 as promised. If Bandon is dead, then they only get 3,000, since the bounty was for 5,000 alive. Also, garnering a Hut's favor is never bad for new scoundrels trying to make their way through the galaxy. With the Hut ending, it also leaves the story in a great place to get another mission, or even transition into the GM Kit adventure. Keep in mind, most of the stuff in the adventure can be tampered with if you think it'll better fit the story or your players. And if you have any questions at all, leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer. A huge thanks to the Patreon supporters. It's because of your support that I'm able to continue growing this channel and making videos better and better, and you are incredibly appreciated. Thank you. And everybody else, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, but until then, and as always, may the Force be with you.